Hello, everyone! Welcome back to Campfire Society podcast. I am one of your hosts, BayoCakes98, and I am joined here by two other hosts.
I'm 231
And I'm Sarcastic Slow King.
And welcome back. This is our third podcast. This is huge. We made it past two. Now we're on our third.
The infamous third episode. We've made it.
Yes, we've made it.
No one's ever made it this far.
No one's ever got made it this far. Well, except a few people. But that's aside from the point. Anyways,
right.
Anyways, today's topic we have decided it kind of ties into last episode with character cliches. We're also going to keep on the subject of cliches, but instead of characters, we're talking more about plots, plot lines.
We're going into the plots.
We're getting into the meat of things. Hell yeah. Alright. So
The list is not as long as last time. I should just get that out of the way right now. Last time we had a lot. This one, not as big, but still quite a bit to cover.
Oh yeah. So I guess, would any of y'all care to kind of explain for those who don't know about plot cliches?
So a plot is...
Go ahead.
You gotta be just safe, just in case.
Right. So who's going? Is it him or me? I don't know.
You want to go?
I'll do it, sure. Plot cliches basically are plot points or parts of the story you tend to see a lot in certain shows that tend to be used quite a bit.
Oftentimes to death.
Yeah, pretty much. And if they're used very often, that tends to mean that they're not original and that they don't really bring anything new to the table.
Yeah, a lot of the times they're just kind of the same thing over and over again.
and like with last time, we're not saying that you shouldn't do these. Like, okay, maybe a couple you shouldn't do, but just if you're gonna do it, make it interesting and make it stand out, and don't just blend into the crowd like everybody else.
Right. There are some plot cliches that you kind of have to do though. Like, you have to have a challenge every episode. That's technically a plot cliche if you really want to get down to it.
Guess so.
Yeah, like, okay, so you gotta have the challenge. You gotta have... Okay, part of the plot is they gotta discuss who's going home. That's obviously... There's some things you just can't really go without.
Right.
But, like, we're talking about the ones that we could go without. The ones that kind of just piss us off. The ones that make us just go, man, I just want to hit something every time I see this happen. Obviously not to that extreme, but, you know.
Yeah.
Over-exaggeration, hyperbole on my part.
Basically, the stuff that, like, if you see it in, like, a new show, you kind of just immediately tune out and you're like, oh, alright, I know where this is going. So
Yeah, I know exactly when this character's getting eliminated. They might with it maybe about, like, a fucking 2 episodes deviation.
Right.
Alright, so without further ado, let's get into this. Let's dig right in. First topic is a pretty, I guess, a well-known one. One that I think was more prevalent during the early days. But I still would say it exists today. We're talking about blackmail.
Blackmail.
I mean, let's be real here. Blackmail, that's kind of a general term, I guess. Blackmailing...
A lot of stuff can fall under this.
Yeah, like...
It can mean a lot of things.
When somebody holds a piece of information hostage, basically, or something of value. So that, again, that's a huge general term. But I guess what really blackmail boils down to in TPIs is the villain has some dirt on X character, whatever. You know, the X character doesn't want the villain to just, you know, spread everything. And, you know, the villain holds that information hostage. They find out somehow. And by the end of the episode, they either it goes down two routes. Either A, they, you know, get the balls to actually admit to everyone what the dirt is on them, which again is a cliche in of itself. And then there's also B, when the villain ends up, you know, telling everyone, and then it's not a big deal. Or C, same thing except they don't react so positively.
Right.
Or if it's like a long kind of multiple episode
Yeah.
story with that. It usually turns into the villain saying, "All right, you're gonna do X, Y, and Z for me. You're gonna do whatever I say, or I'm gonna kill this."
Yeah.
Like, the way I see it with Blackmail is that the longer it goes on, the worse it's gonna get. The worse the story.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
With Blackmail, the best thing you can do is to, like, get it done, is to, like, have it, and then get it done as soon as possible. Like, I had it recently on Abandoned, and I don't even know if I'd call it that much of a blackmail. It was mostly just Fletchender saying, okay, I guess it was blackmail, but yeah, go, you help me get rid of a...
Munchlax,
Riolu, and I won't tell everybody that you were the reason Swallow went home, but it didn't matter. That's still, like, I got it done and over with in one episode.
Yeah. And again, it's a general term, but like, do it right or just don't fucking do it. Blackmail isn't necessary, but like, if you want to do it, do something different with it. Like, kind of like mix things up. Make the information, make it funny. It could be funny. Like, it's something completely just stupid. Like, what if it's
it doesn't have to be like the villain holding something over someone's head.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be something like outrageously dark or serious.
It could be just something like, just something like some random contestant saw someone doing something really cringy, and it's like, oh my god.
And he's just like having him do like really minor things.
Yeah.
Sorry, go make me a sandwich.
It doesn't have to be the villain who discovers the secret. Like
it could
it
be just someone who wants a good laugh.
Maybe in that case they could turn into the villain because of that, but
or maybe they just felt like being a douchebag that day. Like, I mean, what do you want me to say? Alright. So, I guess with Blackmail, I guess the main thing I will say about it is it's a general term, but there's many paths people go down. Just don't go down those 3 paths. Don't make it so forcibly predictable, and you're golden.
I think the fact that there's so many different things you can do with it kind of intimidates people, and they're like, oh well, I don't know if I can think of my own creative thing for this, so I'm just gonna do what everyone else has already done.
Yeah. But
yeah, I think maybe sometimes people just add it so that they have a Blackmail plot just in the storyline.
All right. But yeah,
I don't know. They feel like, oh, that's part of TPI 101. You gotta have someone get blackmailed.
Yeah,
that was in Nikki's How to Make a TPI tutorial.
Wait, was it? Or was that a joke?
No, absolutely not.
I was gonna say, he wouldn't say that. I mean, it's Nikki, granted, but he wouldn't say
something stupid like that.
His tutorial is the end-all be-all of TPI.
But his was more about like that tutorial was more like technical stuff. I wish someone like maybe one day we could like do an in-depth tutorial on like how to get started, like what do you have to do to get everything set up for those of you who don't know.
Possibly another podcast episode, gentlemen.
Maybe next week. No, maybe next time. Post down in the comments below what you think. Post in the comments what you think of this idea.
Yay or nay?
A trash idea.
Just fucking sucks. Like, wow, you're fucking stupid.
Why would you ever think that?
What the? I'm fucking pissed.
How dare you?
You're gonna go against the god of TPIs,
Nikki Nord 2. Lord, the Father, the Son, the Holy
Lord
Spirit.
Nicholas Nor 2.
We're drunk as shit. I'm already cracked open a cold one. So, I mean, I'm just fucking chugging it down. Alright.
Alright, final thoughts about Blackmail.
It's trash.
It can be done well, but it can also... But there's so many things you can do with it.
Alrighty, the next one. Oh boy, this...
Woo.
Granted, one I have not seen in a while, but still one that's been done enough times that it needs to be discussed. I'm talking about the 4 spirits.
This
boys.
one's so bad.
Let's go.
Oh,
I don't know if this one has ever been.
You cut out.
I said I don't know if this one has like ever been good even once.
I don't think it has either, because it kind of boils down to the spirits kind of just convince X character, whatever character they latch onto that day, whatever flavor they feel like. They get them to do this thing, or they give them these special powers, or whatever stupid shit. And it just
like with most of the others on this list, like I can understand people using this more than once, but of all the ones to use multiple times in different shows, the 4 spirits?
It fucking sucks.
How many haunted spirits happen to live on islands or film lots or wherever a reality show is filmed?
Or is it actually religious subtext?
Possibly.
I mean, I hope it's.
Yeah, fuck that shit. But this one, I think the most infamous shows that use this, Nikki did it, and I think Michael did it too.
Yeah.
I remember 16 Max R did this. I think Shinx did this.
Get called out, Shonks.
There was a TPI maker back in the day, the Lonely Galate or the Lonely Spirit Tomb. He did this.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And this is actually interesting. But in like the last episode I made of one of my old TPI drafts, the one I did before Abandoned, I featured the 4 spirits and I just roasted them. I straight up roasted them. What happened is one of the characters, it was the Eevee of that show. She fell into
nice girl Eevee.
Cave. She somehow evolved, and then she's like, "Oh, what's going on here?" It's like, "Oh, we're the 4 electric spirits," and she's just like, "No, no, 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 no! I am not getting involved with you. You are bad luck." And if you've seen Survivor Gabon and you know the scene where Crystal is voting out Randy and she's just very loud and very vocal, that's basically what I did. I'm like, forget you.
Go home. Goodbye. We're gonna have to. Maybe that's an episode. That's an off-week episode. We watch Survivor Gabon because it's the funniest season of the show by far.
Interesting.
Definitely an interesting idea. Post in the comments what we should do.
Trash idea.
Yes.
Trash idea.
Suggestions. Any ones you have.
We're not running out of ideas already. Well, what do you mean? It's only 4 episodes in.
Anyway, the 4 spirits.
Fuck, it sucks.
It's not a good one. It really isn't.
It just doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense.
I mean, granted, being picky about what makes sense, a universe of Pokemon kind of that doesn't make sense in of itself. But like,
yeah.
I don't even know.
Don't tear apart the entire basis of our fandom, dude. Don't do it.
Yeah, the 4 spirits is just something that's like, why? Why would you do this over? Of all the plot cliches, why would you repeat this one?
And here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing you have to realize. When Nikki did it, he only... I mean, and I'm taking only TPI into consideration. I know they did a little more in TPA, but TPI, there was only the one episode with Spiel and when he went home, and that was it. But with these other shows, they dragged it on a little more. They were the ones who elevated it to make it a 4-spirit, 4-episode plot line. Oh, I talked to each of the 4 spirits. Each one guides me.
Yeah.
So, like, Nikki planted the seed, but it was a few others that kind of elevated on the idea.
Right. I think after Michael did it, I was kind of done with it. Like, Michael, I don't remember, but I remember I hated it. I was like, oh shit, not this again.
Yeah, it wasn't good in his show either.
Yeah. From what I remember, it's been years, like I said. I love you, Michael, if you're watching. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan. But there's not really much else to talk about the 4 spirits, other than it doesn't make any fucking sense. For some reason it's overused, and it just doesn't. It sucks.
And I guess if you were thinking of doing something like this, just don't do it like hell, don't have it be 4 spirits. Hell, you can have it be 7. Okay, maybe not 7 spirits.
The 7 sages.
Yeah, just have it be. It could be a different number. It doesn't have to be 4.
It could be 1.
Yeah, it could just be 1.
It could be just someone's voice.
Have it do a little more than just guiding maybe one contestant. Like maybe leave it as a twist on the island or something. oh, we've contacted the underworld, and that's going to be part of the show. I don't know.
It's
but...
like what's Sophisticated Squirtle show, because this is TPI, the Cursed Island, and like the whole thing is like there's a bunch of ghosts that are already.
And that's fine, like, cause if that's the way you set it up, you know, if it's haunted, yeah, of course there's gonna be spirits. That's the whole theme of the show. It's like, okay, I understand, that's fine.
But just out of nowhere, being like, oh yeah, 4 spirits. Oh yeah, no,
that just raises a lot more questions. Like, are there more supernatural elements on this island? Are the 2 brothers from Supernatural gonna bust through the doors trying to figure out if anything else is going on? I'm forgetting their names, their last names, but you get the idea.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think that's pretty cool. Like, have like a horror themed TPI. That'd be fucking cool as shit. I mean, that's assuming what he's doing.
Yeah,
I might have to watch. I might watch it at some point. I don't know. I'm lazy as fuck, so. Like I said, there's only a few people I keep up with their shows, and they don't upload very frequently, which is the people sitting in this call.
Oh, you calling me out, huh?
I mean, like, okay, like earlier we all don't upload that frequently, so I mean, other than this podcast, obviously. But I'm talking about like our actual shows. Like, I'm still like in the slides phase. I'm fucking lazy, dude.
I mean, to be fair, Jake's episodes are feature-length movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And mine have a lot of text boxes.
My 5th episode, I'm trying to take my time, but like I'm genuinely like trying to take my time so I can think it through, because the first 4 episodes were like this huge, you know, comedy thing, and then like the 5th one's where shit's gonna get real. Spoiler alert. Shit's gonna go down, but I'm still working on it. I'm still planning it, but I got plans for it. I got ideas, but. That's enough about that. We got a little off topic there. But yeah, 4 spirits. Unless y'all have anything else to say.
Nope.
Okay, good.
Good. Just maybe steer clear of this one.
Yeah. It's overdone.
All right. The next one, very, very common. I'm sure a lot of people have done this before. I'm doing it right now on the show. We've got ourselves a love triangle.
Oh boy.
I fucking hate them. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm not even gonna leave them in suspense. I fucking hate this. I mean, look, I understand that you want to do this, but like, in my opinion, you want to do the love triangle, and I'm fine with it. You know, you do you, but I fucking hate it. You'll never see me trying to do this shit.
And it's another thing where, like, if you can pull it off and you can write it really well, then absolutely go for it.
Yeah.
But, like, if you can't, then just don't.
My problem comes in... Oh, I'm sorry.
It just turns into, like, cringe.
Okay, make all 3 of the characters involved characters. And not 2 of them are characters and they have a rivalry, and then the other's just the object.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, just don't do that. Don't try to, like, personify the characters outside of the love triangle. Give them more to do than just fight for their affections over one character. Whether it be 2 girls fighting over a guy, 2 guys fighting over a girl, or hell, even 2 guys fighting over another guy.
Or a guy and a girl fighting a guy.
I mean, Telly did that. I remember that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Telly did do that. I totally forgot.
Spoilers for Telly's show. Pour one out.
Sorry.
We don't fucking care about
it for a while. I'm sure.
It's been a fucking year since that episode came out.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But like, anyways, what I think is, again, most of the time it's like you can tell which one's gonna get the short end of the stick out of the 2 in the rivalry. You can just kind of like look and it's like, okay, this guy is a fucking douchebag and he's gonna lose out, and then this guy is gonna fucking end up in the end and get some.
I feel like you're talking specifically about one love triangle.
Do it. Sorry. You didn't hear that.
I'm keeping my mouth shut. I can't say anything because it's not done yet.
Okay, I mean, I'm fine with that, because I imagine it's going to be about 3 more episodes, but that's just me. Sorry. But we all like giving each other crap. We all just shit on each other, and then we were
some balls.
Yeah, we got to shit on each other sometimes. Who is? If we don't. But anyways, the thing is with love triangles, you can do it right. I mean, inherently they're not bad, I guess. I fucking they just infuriate me. But that's just like my personal like fucking I hate love triangle bias. But like why I hate it so much, I don't know. It's like okay, the more you drag it out, the worse it gets, I think.
Yeah.
End it very quickly.
If it's not getting better, then it can only get worse.
And that's the one thing I thought was that Telly did well. He ended it, I think what it really started.
He ended it pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
One of them went home, and I won't say which one, just in case you're not I mean.
Yeah. It's all good.
I just won't say it.
Because I feel like a lot of the time, and I honestly said this, is that a lot of the time they feel just really lopsided. Like, you can just look at it and be like, all right, yeah, I know who she's gonna pick or he's gonna pick or whatever.
But
that also makes you go like, all right, since I already like fucking know, can we just like kind of speed this along a little bit so we're not just like spinning our wheels for 10 episodes?
Another issue I have with it is I gotta fucking care about at least 2 of the 3 characters, or all 3 of them really. But I have to at least give a shit. If I don't give a shit about any of the characters, which let's go back to Nikki. All of it, I like the love triangle. I hated all 3 of them. I fucking despise them.
Which love triangle are we talking about? Because I feel like there were multiple. That's also a bad sign.
I'm talking about the one with Kingdra.
Okay, because I was also thinking of Chansey, Cherim, and Ivysaur.
Oh yeah, I hated all 3 of them too. They fucking sucked.
You see, like Matt just said, if you have more than one love triangle, that's a problem.
It's a problem.
What about Trico, Credillion, Mudkip?
Ooh.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no. No, don't you speak of it ever again. Burn it with fire.
Oh, God, you mentioned another one.
Oh, hell no.
We're at 4 now. Oh, my God.
Oh, hell no. No.
Oh.
And I mean, 1 is enough.
Yeah, you don't have 4 love triangles.
It's boring. It's like, okay, we all know that they're all gonna end up, someone's gonna get fucking shafted, and like it's usually the one you think it's gonna be too.
Someone's gonna be sad.
And usually it's the fucking douchebag that's sad, but like the douchebag wins at the beginning, and then the one who you're supposed to root for gets it in the end. It's like, and then like the character that they're fighting over usually is bland as shit anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, at that point it's like, why the fuck do I care? Their whole purpose, and usually the one that's the one that's kind of like the one the other 2 are fighting over, usually is just evicted anyway pretty quickly after the arc ends.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it doesn't have to be like let's say it's 2 guys fighting over a girl. It doesn't have to be nice versus like douchebag. Like it could be 2 nice guys. And so, if you do that, then you can actually kind of like that would make me care about it, especially if I like both of them. I don't want one of them to I don't want either of them to lose in this.
Yeah.
But then you also have to write it in a way that
make it to where people are in the comments saying, I'm team this, or I'm team that. That's how you want it to be. And when people are doing that...
Twilight on this, like I'm team Edward or I'm team Jacob, just...
Yeah. I mean, well, okay, yeah. I mean, Twilight's dog shit to begin with. Like, why do y'all take an inspiration?
Don't get me started.
They're fucking trash books, and they're trash fucking movies.
I would like to interject real quick, just because on the thing of make the love triangle interesting, I'd like to bring up an example. This isn't from a TPI. It's from a cartoon. And granted, it's not a cartoon I've seen, but I'm familiar with it, and I'm familiar with the story. It was in The Legend of Korra. Either you guys heard of that?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
It's like a spin-off from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Never seen that either. But I remember when it was out.
I was never into Avatar either. But the point is, in the first season of the show, you had the main character Korra, and she had a crush on this guy named Mako, or Mako. I don't know how his name's pronounced.
Mako Tsunami from Yu-Gi-Oh?
This girl, Asami. So, you got a love triangle. One guy, two girls. Well, by the end of the season, I guess they break up, and Mako's with Korra now. But then they break up. He's briefly back with Asami, and they break up. And after 2 seasons, they just drop it. They just get rid of the love triangle. It's like, you know what? We both tried it. You know, I think we're just better off all as friends, and it's okay. Here's the interesting thing, and here's what makes Legend of Korra really stand out. They focus seasons 3 and 4 more so on Korra and Asami's friendship. Like, now that they weren't fighting over Mako, or whatever the hell his name was, they started to see each other as equals. They became friendly. And in the last episode, the creators pretty much confirmed, oh yeah, they're a couple now.
Oh. The guys?
No, the 2 girls.
Oh, wait. Okay,
it's
I'm
like
lost.
it's like
sorry,
the female.
It's 2 girls and 1 guy. Mako ends the show single, but
Okay.
Korra and Asami are a couple. They end the show holding hands, heading into a portal to be transported somewhere. I don't know, but obviously they couldn't show anything because it's a kids show and censors and all that crap. But
Ooh, spicy.
it was big. And I'm surprised I didn't hear about it sooner. I only heard about it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, with that show, it's like with that, it's like one of those things where it's like fuck, bros over hoes, but the opposite.
I've heard it's called Sisters Before Misters.
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. I was like, bros before hoes. I know that one, but it's like sisters before misters. It's one of those
But
cases.
basically, all I was saying was that it's an interesting take on the love triangle. Just the 2 people fighting over the girl or the guy or whatever. Just forget about it, become friends, and something happens between them. Changes the game.
Wow.
Just do something different with it. If you're gonna do it right. Like, do it something different.
Absolutely.
Do something funny, or at least have it be funny. Like, have it be entertaining. Like, maybe one of them's just so over the top, and then what if she ends up rejecting both of them? It's like, what the fuck? Or he rejects both of the girls, or doesn't matter. It's like, what the fuck
Like
are
they're
you?
in love, like,
Then they become
that
best
guy's in love with
friends.
somebody else.
Yeah, straight up.
It's like, wow. And
And
then
the
like
2
they,
guys who both get rejected, they
Well-
become best friends over their
Well,
hatred of her.
I don't know if this has been done, but like, what if they're fighting over this one person, then they find out that the one that they're fighting over is a total either a bitch or a fucking douchebag, and like, oh wow, we both, wow.
Wow, we dodged bullets there. Yeah, all good, all good. Okay, let's move on with
They
our
they
lives.
kiss and make up, you know.
They're like, wow,
Sure.
she sucks.
Which is why I was like, I was like, I think I had my theory was with Abandoned for a while. I thought that Maripa's actually going to be the first one gone of the 3.
I mean, full
Interesting.
time.
Yeah, I think I told you
No
this before.
comment.
No comment. Like, I understand. I had like, I think this was
We're
like
gonna get the info out of you. one of these
eventually.
days.
I think it was around episode 14. I was like, yeah, I think I have a theory. I think Mareep's going to be the first to go, and like Electrike and Duat are going to just be stuck in the game together.
Because then they're just like, oh wait, shit, what do we do now?
What the fuck? What have we been doing for all this time? It, like, we don't. It's like, Duat's still kind of a dick, and then, Electrike's just like, okay, let's say, man, and Electrike's just like, oh well, whatever. I don't fucking care about your stupid ass anymore. That's all I
We'll have to
thought.
wait and see.
I guess I will. I guess I
Wait and
will.
see. All right, so
We-
that one went on for quite a while.
like
Any
10
last
minutes.
minute thoughts with Love Triangle?
Nope. It fucking sucks.
All right, so then with that, we will continue on. What's next? Okay, this
Ooh.
one's not another. It's another one that's kind of rare, but still done a lot, and it's based off of solely one character from Total Drama. We're
Yeah.
gonna see how people tackle the Mike archetype or multiple personality disorder storyline.
Yeah, this one was one where we were like, when we were discussing the topics, it was like, does this count as a character cliche or does it count as a plot line? I think it could be both. I think it's definitely both.
I mean, technically, it involves all the characters.
Yeah.
It can involve more characters. It involves
Yeah.
several personalities. I mean, I don't know how many, but
Absolutely. So it's like, it's like one of those things where it's like, it could be either one. Who pinged me?
Not gonna lie, I almost did this for Island Strikes Back. I was almost guilty of it.
Was there a character you were going to add this to, or are you willing to say?
So all right. You know how Oricorio has 4 different forms?
Yeah.
Oh.
They're gonna be like.
Originally, my original idea was that was gonna be like a multiple personality thing. Then I was like, wait, no, that's kind of stupid. And then I was like, why not just have her change forms based on her emotions? I was like, all right, yeah, that sounds a lot better.
Yeah, that. I mean, I don't think I don't know if I think it could be done. Here's the thing with multiple personality disorder, because this all stems back to Mike from Revenge of the Island. And I'm gonna say this, and you can take with my comments as it is. I don't think Mike was a bad character. The only problem was he was not suited for total drama.
Yeah.
No,
he
wasn't.
He was good for another show. I think, because that's the thing. When Mike went on Total Drama, it just turned into the Mike show, especially All Stars.
I was gonna say, like, okay.
It's like, okay, sweet, we got a little wimpy guy who seems like he can't pick up butterfly. We got a jock who loves himself too much. We got a redneck. We got a gamer guy. Ooh, who's this gentleman? He's got 4 personalities.
It's like 4 characters in one.
It's 1 through 5. I'll look at this guy over here. Looks like he'll do something funny. Basically, I mean, it was that. Total Dramas 4 and 5 were just the Mike show, basically.
Especially 5. Like 4, you can argue it kind of shifted focus from the Scott show.
2, you realized right then and there that Mike was making it to the finale.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially with the Mal plot line, like it was obvious.
Yeah, once Mal kind of got introduced, then.
Now, in terms of TPIs, like the only major instance that I can think of off the top of my head is Michael 545. He had the Hamaru and he had a Venipede, which evolved into a Whirlpede and then Scolipede, or is that what it's called? Venipede or whatever? Fuck.
Yeah, Venipede. You're right.
Okay. I just couldn't remember off the top of my head, but basically he had an alter ego called Hamaru. He got eliminated. Yeah. It was like basically edgy personality. It was a split person. It wasn't a multiple personality. It was split. It was only 2. So what ended up happening was I think he just overcame Hamaru, and then just it fucking ended, and then like he was eliminated for just I don't even remember why. He was eliminated pretty early. I don't think he lasted too much longer after that story ended. It wasn't a huge focus, but it was definitely something that happened late. I think it didn't even start until later in the season, I don't think.
Well, I do remember one more example, and this was from Telly's original AXC. We're going back to Espion.
I'm calling you out, Telly.
Telly, you can just skip to the next scene if you don't want to hear this.
Put in a time code to just let Telly know. I mean, I'm sorry, Telly. I don't remember what the names of Espion's personalities were. And honestly, I mean, granted, I watched that season years ago.
Oh, I remember this now. I vaguely remember the Espion.
I remember... Oh, wait, no, there was one called Jeddah, who was very... Because... Okay, this was another love triangle. It was...
Oh, no.
Oh, hell no.
No, it was...
Combining.
It was Espion, Electivire, and Pancham, I think. And it was supposed to be Electivire and Espion, like, that was obvious. But then Pancham fell in love with Espion's... one of her personalities, Jeddah, who was like this tough girl who didn't stand for anyone's bullshit.
I don't need no man.
But what if the personality had a love triangle with
each other? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, that would... Okay, that's getting a little messed. What if they just walked into a cloning machine, they all popped out? What the hell would happen there?
This is unspicy.
Well, I mean, technically you could have a character that's so full of themselves that they literally are in love with themselves. So I mean,
I've got a character like that in the workshop.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
Well, yeah, I mentioned I mentioned that in the Nuzlocke, which that installment will be coming out soon.
Yeah, was it in part 3? Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, part 3 will be coming out next week. Promise.
Shameless plug. Was there any other examples?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, those are like the only two big ones I think we could think of. But the point is with multiple personality disorder is don't let this character hog the entire spotlight. And just try to make it seem like it plays a central role in the plot. And maybe, ironically, maybe give them other personalities outside of the... Okay, that already sounds confusing the way I phrased that.
Now that I think about it, I think there was one more. I think Levi did it. I can't remember which character it was. I think it was in his world tour. I can't remember. There was a character that had multiple personalities. God, I can't remember which one it was. It's been forever since I've seen that show, so I know Levi did it. I'm pretty sure. Like I might be wrong on this. I'm pretty sure he did it. Anyone wanting to correct me in the comments, just fucking do it. I haven't seen that show.
I will say one more thing. Like I was toying with the idea of a character being so in love with himself, I've also been toying with a character, not so much with multiple personality disorder, but kind of what one of you guys said about like a split personality.
Yeah.
And I'm going to elevate it maybe to be a lot more sinister and a lot more dark than I think Total Drama or anybody else ever dealt with something like this. I mean, I don't know. Again, like I've constantly said, I don't know if it's ever going to become a thing, but it's nice to have character ideas like that in the back pocket just in case.
Maybe it's like one of those things where it's less like Mal and then more like one of those characters. You know that character from the Happy Tree Friends?
Oh God, yes.
The one that had like he started just hyperventilating and he became this psychotic killer.
Right. Basically Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yes, exactly.
What you think of when you think of split personality.
Yeah.
Anyway, multiple personality disorder. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think there's really much to add other than if we ever talked about Total Drama one day.
Yeah.
Another possible idea.
Wink,
but
wink.
Let's move on.
Winks.
The next one... Okay, these next two kind of go hand in hand, because it mostly has to do with an archetype that everyone does, and everyone kind of pretty much has to have one of these on the show. Villains.
Of course.
You gotta have at least one villain character. Or one more, like not every character can be happy, sunshine, and rainbows. They can't all be Rhyhorn.
There wouldn't be any drama.
Absolutely. But the thing we're talking about is, like, the plot-armored villain.
Oh, yes. Plot armor.
Basically, how every single episode, against all odds, the villain stays alive in the game.
Literally just because.
When it's bad... Well, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, just because they're the villain.
The part that I hate is when everybody knows that they're the villain, like the villain. That's what they're labeled as, and everyone like in the game knows. The ones that okay, if a villain's getting by every week and they're subtle about it, you know, people trust them, you know, what this and that and this and that. That's fine.
They're like secretly the villain.
Yeah. But if they're blatantly the villain, they've been sabotaging and people know that and somehow they still stay. Well, that makes no sense.
That kind of makes you start to root for the villain, because then you start to think, wow, these guys are idiots.
Because then they kind of just become the anti-hero.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, it's not of, oh, a group of misfits have to band together to get rid of this one bad guy. It's this one random person has to navigate through a sea full of idiots to get $1 million.
Exactly. And what pisses me off is when they randomly just pull an idol out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I've had this since episode 2. I've been waiting for the right time. Here you go.
But like, when did you get it in episode 2? Like, nobody saw you do it.
Yeah, exactly. If you didn't show it, like, what? If you show it and then like later on in the season, okay, they play it, you know, fine, whatever.
And it's like, there's another one where it's like, it's all about. I feel like a broken record. I feel like I say this every single time. It's all about like the way you write it too.
Yeah.
It's like you can have a situation where there is a reason why the villain doesn't go home. In my show, for example, this was an episode or two ago. Obviously, Roselia is the main villain right now, and she's on the team that has 3 people in the Party Train Alliance. So that's
I know what you're talking about.
3 votes that would be against her. Yet she continued to stay every single week. And then either last episode or the episode before that, I had a scene where Gibble pretty much says to Heracross, hey, so like, why don't we get rid of Roselia? Heracross is like, yeah, we could, but like, as long as she's still here, then everybody will just be looking at her, and they won't like even notice that we have an alliance. They won't even like look at us.
They won't
as long
care.
as the target's on her back, that's cool. Let's keep her around for as long as we can, just so like she'll keep everyone's attention.
Right. They basically use the villain as a scapegoat.
Yes,
exactly. Because it is
Which
a game.
Which isn't a bad idea, if you think about it.
I guess that's kind of what what I did, I guess, to an extent. Everyone hated Meowth in episode 3, and then like all of a sudden Mudkip just was like gives her a pity vote, and then like Riolu hates Meowth, but like, shit, I fucking don't want to go home next. Because he knows about the 6-person alliance.
Yeah.
That was a thing, and like, okay, I gotta kind of put my grudge to the side and get this shit done. So I'm not the next to leave. So then that's how Zigzagoon went home.
Yep.
Alright. So is that all y'all had to say about that? Plot armor or villain? Or wait, what was the other thing about villains? Plot armor, villains, and what else?
It just says villain becomes the main character. Which
I
think we kind of already said.
Well, if you're gonna do the plot armored villain, don't just have no reason. There has to be like you have to include some scene where a character will say why they haven't been voting for the villain. Because otherwise, then it's like these people just. And
then like there was stuff like Nikki's show where like some of the votes just did not make sense.
Yeah.
It was more about eliminating whoever he felt like rather than trying to figure out why these contestants would vote the way they would.
Yeah.
And that's why I think shows have improved over the years, because most of the time, like, it's blatant fucking rigging. You have to set these characters up right. You have to give them their own thoughts and feelings and how they think. So it's like, it's one of those things where had the votes make sense. If they don't make sense, it's like, what's the point of even fucking doing it?
And it's like, this is an example. I'm not going to spoil anything. This is an example of that's going to come in my next episode. Originally, so I've been having this idea for this specific scene since like the summer, since like before episode 3 was out. And the only thing I'll say is that there is going to be a tie, and there's going to be a tiebreaker challenge. And
all right, do you guys want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Is that villain becomes main character?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Is that villain becomes main character, or is that
I was thinking we just move on from the villains altogether and head over to Hypnosis.
Right. Ooh.
Oh yeah, the next one's Hypnosis.
This one fucking sucks.
This is one I am guilty of in the past.
I've never done it, but man, it infuriates me.
It's not a good one.
Like, okay.
I mean, it's another one of those where it's like, if you do it, fine, just make it interesting and make it quick.
And a lot of the time, it's.
And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, why don't you just hypnotize everyone if you have that power, and just make them just give you, or hypnotize Raichu or whatever.
Yeah, that
literally.
Like, why would you use it makes no, or at least if you're not gonna do that, give a good reason. Maybe it's like, okay, he uses hypnosis once and it drains them a lot.
Yeah, I can only do it X amount of time.
Per day.
I can only do it to one person in a close proximity.
Yeah.
Like, right. That makes sense.
But like, you literally have a power that you just win.
It's the same logic as like Robot Porygon that we discussed last week. Like, if you have a robot on the show,
why doesn't he just win?
Exactly. It's like it makes absolute zero sense why if you have a power like hypnosis, where you can literally control people's actions, like at least have something that makes sense within the story. Like maybe it only works on weak-minded players, maybe,
Yeah.
or like stupid characters that are just designed to be the stupid comic relief or whatever.
Like how it could work on your show. It could work on probably people like Psyduck or probably Makuhita or
I wouldn't say
Bulbasaur.
Psyduck.
Okay, maybe not Psyduck, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Psyduck, I will say this. There's gonna be a reason why he's everyone's favorite character.
Oh,
He's gonna
boy.
continue to say everyone's favorite character, at least for a good amount of time. Not saying when he gets eliminated or if he gets eliminated.
Good save. Good save. Anyway, going back to Nikki's show again. I mean, I'm sorry to keep dragging it through the mud, but it's so easy to.
It's the scapegoat.
It's
Like
it's
the
the
first-
low-hanging fruit.
Like the first 13 episodes or something. Like I don't know how many Pokemon were hypnotized by Murkrow and
At
Mischievous.
least
Like
6 or
4
7.
or 5.
Yeah, Michael did it too.
Like I think Snorunt got hypnotized. Magby,
Magby,
Jigglypuff.
Chimchar?
Totodile.
Croconaw.
I feel like Chimchar did too.
That sounds familiar. I think you're
Yeah.
right. I forgot about Chimchar.
That's at least 5.
Yeah, that's bare minimum 5. There could have been more. I can't even remember. It's been. I mean, you're the one who watched this show recently. We haven't
Man,
seen it in years.
I'm trying to repress that from my memory.
And like I said,
don't
I
blame
did
you.
it myself in my old show. How when some characters were brought back to the show for no reason, which we will cover that
What if
probably really soon. Actually, towards the end, but the villains were just like, yeah, let's just hypnotize them for no reason and get them onto our side. It's more numbers. And I did that for a few episodes, and it was horrible.
You could
And
just
a lot of
hypnotize the
time,
producers.
It usually just ends up being like, all right, so-and-so is hypnotized. Well, all right, we know who's going home now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened to Nikki's show. It was like 5 episodes in a row. Somebody got hypnotized, and then they went home.
Oh yeah, because I think Porygon got hypnotized too.
How does that
Something like
work?
that.
How the fuck does that even work? How can a robot
You shouldn't even have a mind.
like?
No,
I mean, you.
I think it's the same reason I got rid of Porygon on my old show. I think you just inserted like some bad hard drive into
I mean,
software,
okay, that's
and
fine.
then he just shorted out and dies.
You just put a,
I mean,
put a Trojan in there.
Yeah.
It's like he goes to do his thing, and it's like zip, 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 zip.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
hack
You
into
could do that.
Hack in a Porygon, try to download a bad emulator.
Or a bad ROM. Just fucking. You just see nothing like.
Download Platinum.
Porygon just start.
Stopped working.
all he
Yeah,
sees.
see.
Continue.
All Porygon sees are like porn ads, and he just humps somebody's leg.
You get the idea.
It shouldn't make sense. And if you're gonna do it, have a reason.
Absolutely.
Let me rephrase. Have limit, and have a reason that the limits are there.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's all really I have to say about hypnosis and how it works.
Track.
All right. Next topic. What's
Oh, hold up. I just got rid of the list. 1 second. Oh, here we go. Oh, boy.
uh-oh.
These next two are kind of.
They are kind of hand in hand, but they are some more good ones. The next one, Sabotage.
Ooh.
Sabotage.
Sabotage.
Spicy.
And in parentheses, we have Sabotage character goes home the same episode.
Yes.
Usually this will be kind of orchestrated by the main villain.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
this is another villain cliche. But sabotaging has become a staple in Total Pokemon Islands.
Oh yeah, because of Scott. Literally because of Scott.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Scott was kind of the one who started, because, like, we never saw Heather doing this. I mean, we kind of saw
Yeah.
Alejandro doing this with some of the girls, but that was a little different.
But they were more manipulated as opposed to
Yeah.
sabotage.
Absolutely.
Scott was just purely a saboteur. But he also had a little bit of manipulation. But like, throwing challenges just to throw challenges, like, why? Why would you want to throw challenges? You're literally putting yourself at risk.
And that also goes back to
that just showcased cockiness.
The villain's still here.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
fine, you throw the challenge.
And that was another thing I meant to bring up. I hate to go back to the plot armored villain thing, but I remember a couple of the votes in Nikki's show, like during that after show with Kranidos, like they talked to Cherem. It's like, wait, Cherem, how did you survive the vote? It's like, oh yeah, I just switched the votes. It's like, oh,
Like what?
It's like, and you just briefly gloss over that like it's no big deal.
Exactly.
Like, don't just say that so matter of factly. Like it's it's no big deal.
And another thing, it's like, oh shit. When it comes to sabotaging, okay, all right. So I guess Scott stemmed from Russell Hantz, obviously. It's very clear.
The scheming redneck.
Exactly. Well, with Russell, he did it to break down. He didn't care about losing challenges. He wanted his tribe to be weak. He wanted to be weak-minded. He wanted them to control their minds, in which he did. He controlled them.
I mean, he flat out had an alliance that he dubbed the Dumbass Girl Alliance.
Exactly. He wanted his tribe to be miserable, so that they're weak-minded and they're desperate. So that's where he came in. He's like, I don't give a shit. I can live like this for days. So I guess have something like that be a thing. Like, give a reason why they're sabotaging, if they sabotage, but don't do sabotage because it fucking, like, it's so overdone.
Or
like,
you can do it like once or twice.
Yeah, once or twice is fine.
I was gonna say.
Don't do it like 10 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
And don't always have the Pokemon that gets sabotaged be the one that goes home, because that's kind of the thing that this stems from this. It's like, oh, Torchic gets sabotaged, Torchic's eliminated. Porygon gets sabotaged, Porygon's eliminated. You get the idea. It's just because then that just makes the show become predictable.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be like exclusively like a villain thing. Like this kind of, I don't know. Yeah, we don't really have this, but like I don't know if we talked about this last time. I don't remember, but like just because someone is like a quote unquote good guy, like doesn't mean that like they would never ever like they can't ever like sabotage.
Doesn't mean they can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like have them seem like real people.
Not like just like a goody two shoes that nobody can relate to.
Like everyone is here to win a bajillion dollars.
Or
So,
whatever,
I mean,
X amount of money.
The old
Nobody's
saying
honest.
goes, desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't have them just be like, well, you know, shit's hitting the fan. Oh,
If
well.
your back's against the wall, I mean... Okay, this might be a really, really bad example, and I might regret saying this, and I'm willing to have you guys cut it out. But because this isn't necessarily... because this is not sabotage at all, but it's one of those examples of trying to think of something, whatever you can, to get yourself safe, but I was thinking of Jeff Varner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might be a bad example, but...
It's a good. No, I think it's a good
which is-
example.
What? Which was what exactly?
All right, he basically outed somebody as being a transgender to try to save his own ass.
Good, good.
Yeah, not a fine moment on Survivor. The point I'm trying to make is that even great people can make mistakes, or they can do something that they may later regret, or they may do something questionable just to save their own ass. And
Or even
that's
if
fine if you want to add
not
that.
questionable, or even if it's not a mistake per se, like you can be cutthroat in a game like this.
Exactly.
Like I brought up, I think I said this yesterday. I brought up the example of Giraffe Rig from my first season. Like she wanted to win so badly that like she stepped on a few people's toes. Like towards the end to do it, because she was like, "All right, I'm right there. Like the finale is like right there, so like I'm not getting this far just to lose right now." So she like turned on Combustion, and then tried to and in the finale not turned on, but like basically was like, "Oh nope, sorry Charizard, but fuck you, I'm gonna go win." But it's like anyone would do that, so it's like it's not unrealistic.
It's like, yeah, you've got allies, and yeah, you become friends, but only one person can win this game. You gotta make some tough calls. And I think all of us in our shows going forward will have those moments where some characters will make some desperate measures. Some they may be happy they made, some they may regret.
Oh, absolutely. I can think of one right now. That's where I'm going to leave that.
But basically, sabotaging, try not to make it a regular thing.
Yeah.
And try to make it so that it's still unpredictable.
And then I guess that kind of ties into our next topic. You screw up and you're gone. The characters...
Yeah.
And this isn't just like, being sabotaged. This is more of, if you fuck up in a challenge, you're gone. Done. And they're not a major character. They just broke out this episode. Gone. Period.
Yeah, a lot of the time, like, it'll end up being, like, a character hasn't said a word in the past, like, 3 episodes, and then they get, like, 4 lines this episode, but then they fuck up in the challenge, and then it's like, oh, well, see ya.
Yeah, pretty much. Any excuse.
It's kind of like in the original Total Drama when episode 4, the talent show, and what's his name, Justin. Like,
hey,
Justin goes home, but
he didn't even do anything wrong.
But if you look back, you're like, wait a minute, Justin didn't have any lines in this episode, and then you're like, wait a minute,
Justin only had lines in the first episode.
Exactly.
And even as a kid, I thought that was so weird.
I know he never talked.
And also, side note, he's the only character that has pupils, so maybe that's why they got rid of him. But
exactly.
It's like, don't have a character who has not said a word in like 52 episodes. Like, hi, I'm still here. Oh, all right, I'm leaving. Goodbye.
It's like, hey, everybody, remember me? Just
shot in the head, right?
Yeah, with Justin, like, okay, so the first episode I saw was episode 3, I think. I don't think he said a word in episode 3 or 4. I thought he was mute. I just thought he was mute for some reason.
I thought that too. And then when they did that special at the end of season 1 where everyone's fighting after the $1 million and I heard him spoke, I was legitimately taken aback. Like, what'd you put?
He talked?
He had so much more in like drama, and then
and then he was picked for action, and then he made it very far. And just a random side note, Justin is one of my least favorite characters in all of Total Drama, only because I just think he's a total douche. But
he's very
full of himself and kind of in love with himself.
Did anyone else think he was low-key gay?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I thought he was too.
Gay.
Well, Owen was based on Richard Hatch, so of course he was.
Was he based on Richard Hatch?
Yes, he was.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was based on, like, fat, gay, naked. Hello?
Okay, that actually makes a lot more sense now that
the 3 best words that you can ever hear.
He got naked, like, because that was Richard's whole thing. He could catch fish.
Oh, that's true. Owen did catch fish in that episode.
Yeah, that's what it was.
How did I never notice that?
And then he obviously won.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, he was based off Richard Hatch. 100%. I think so. I don't think it's like... I think it might have been confirmed. I'm not sure. But, like, it's...
Jesus, how the hell did I not see that? But anyway, the whole point we're talking about was screw up and you're gone. And that's kind of what we saw in the original Total Drama. That's kind of what we see in a lot of shows. But it's basically, if you suddenly get a lot of screen time all of a sudden and you didn't get it before, that's usually... That's kind of the whole thing I tried to showcase with Metatite. How she didn't do a damn thing, but then she started getting more screen time, and it's like...
Uh-oh, gone.
It's like, yeah, I'm suddenly getting more screen time. It's really... And wait, what is this red dot at my head? That's kind of weird. What's that doing?
It's like, oh,
Get fucking shot.
And wait a minute. Oh no. Oh, no.
No, I've been doing so well. Get the cameras off of me. No!
I'm just trying to be a floater.
I'm just trying to make it to the final 10, and then eventually get eliminated.
To quote an infamous player of Big Brother, floaters, you better grab a life vest.
Kristen!
There always has to be build-up.
We gotta get Matt to watch some of these shows with us. We'll watch it together. Like Big Brother and Survivor. Since he's never seen them, he's gonna learn today.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna learn them real good. As they say in the South. Yeah. The cliche, oh, you fuck up in a challenge and you're gone. That shit's fucking annoying. I guess that's really all I have to say about that. Anything else y'all would like to add?
Just try to add some variety. Don't always make it the person who screws up in a challenge that ends up going home.
Because it also kind of makes the rest of that person's team look like a bunch of dicks. Because it's like, are you not even gonna give them a chance? Like, you screw up once and you're just out. One strike policy here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like, that's not how life works. Like, it could be your strongest player. The guy who's helped you win 3 out of the 4 challenges.
Oh, but he messed up once. He's out of here.
Then you lose once thanks to him, and it's like, well, we had a good run, but yeah, we don't want to take any more risks. You just go. Just go. Bye-bye. We'll pack your bags for you.
Pretty much. I don't like that shit. But yeah, next topic. We got a good old-fashioned tragic backstories.
Tragic backstories.
Alright, so how I personally feel about them. Use them, but use them sparingly. They don't all have to have tragic backstories. They don't have to have tragic. They can have backstories. They can have, their reasons for being here. But they don't all have to be mopey dopey. Oh, my parents are divorced. They're fucking dead.
Not every contestant needs to have a tragic backstory. This is not The Voice. This is just gonna be... No, I'm not even kidding. I watch The Voice. I mostly just to see new singers, but almost every single contestant in their opening package brings up, and American Idol too, they bring up some sort of tragic backstory, something that gets them to where they are today.
I don't doubt it.
Oh yeah.
It's usually a ploy to draw in some sympathy votes, which I can understand, but it shouldn't be about that. It's about The Voice. The point is, tragic backstories, they gotta serve purpose.
Yeah.
You can't just have a tragic backstory just to have one.
Yeah, it needs to, if you're going to have one, you need to have it kind of be a reason why a character's a certain way. Like, don't just have them be completely normal and then out of nowhere, oh yeah, my parents are dead. Like, what?
What? Yeah, exactly.
Like, why? First of all, why is that important right now? Second of all, what?
Exactly. Why is that out of nowhere?
If they have, a problem, trusting people, but you don't know why, and then it turns out that, everyone I've ever trusted in my life has always betrayed me, that would be acceptable.
Yeah, that's fine.
That makes, I've had a couple tragic backstory reveals already, and huge spoilers ahead. Maybe skip the next 30 seconds, but when you see Miss Maggie, she was very shy, closed off, seemed to be pretty sad all the time. Well, that's because she lost her mom a few months ago. Or with Quilava, how she refused to accept the fact that she was gay because her parents took her to a conversion camp to try to get her fixed. There's reasons behind the backstories. They play into everything. They're not just there because they're there. It makes the characters who they are.
Do not watch that Quilava backstory reveal at 2 a.m. Don't do it. Don't be like me.
Do it. I did it in the car.
Sleep that night.
I was in the car. I was driving.
You were driving and that came on?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You start crying while you're driving.
I fucking crashed.
Veers off the road.
Oh shit! I'm gonna fucking die.
Honk, shut up!
Mommy, I'm a bitch! I was just I was late for class. I was like, fuck, I want to finish this. I don't want to come back to it. Fuck that. So I went on the way to this class. I was just fucking driving and just listening to it. I was like, good stuff.
Oh, that's funny. But, yeah, don't make it so that every tragic backstory... just don't make every character have one. I'm not going to reveal in 3 episodes where Electrike's suddenly oh yeah, I've been unlucky in love my whole life. My past girlfriend died.
Fucking what?
Straight up just died.
That doesn't make sense. And no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, but it's just exaggeration. It's just one of those things. Like, okay, why and what? It's just something I see a lot, and it's like, if you're gonna do a backstory, fine. I encourage it, but does it always have to be fucking gruesome?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be tragic. That's the
what
thing.
if it's just funny?
It can be sad without being like legitimately tragic.
Yeah. What if they're just a fucking dork and they got bullied in school?
Like Bulbasaur?
Exactly, or well, Mudkip more like.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I was bullied in school because I'm a fucking dork.
Okay, I will admit one very, very, very slight spoiler for the next episode. There is one kind of sad but really funny, very tiny backstory, not for one of the contestants, but for Durant, the intern.
Oh my god.
He's got a backstory.
He's got a backstory. Fucking intern. Why? Just for fun, just for comedy. If it's for comedy's sake, that's fine
it's
too.
It's solely for comedy. It's sad, but it's hilarious.
I mean, like, okay, let's look at the Doofenshmirtz backstories. Those are all hilarious.
Wait, which backstory? I was laughing. I'm sorry.
The Phineas and Ferb, the Doofenshmirtz's backstories.
Oh, neither of my parents showed up for my birth. Dude.
What? They didn't even show up for your birth.
Wow, what the fuck?
How does that even work?
I had to be served as a lawn gnome out in our yard. I only had one friend, and it was my balloony.
I fucking...
All real backstories from Phineas and Ferb.
All of them were hilarious.
All hilarious. Doofenshmirtz was the best.
He was. He really was.
I forgot all about this. But anyway, tragic backstories. Try to spread them out. Don't give them to every contestant. And you don't always have to make them tragic.
Right. Alright. Anything else we gotta say on the subject?
Nope. And the next one is this one's interesting.
This one's
this
a doozy.
one should be pretty quick.
Yeah, this one's quick because you don't really see it that often. But it's everyone hating a certain character just because.
Yeah, like, the main thing with this one, I think Rhyhorn's example, not my Rhyhorn, but Michael's Rhyhorn. Oh, they don't even acknowledge his existence. Let alone they fucking hate him. I mean, like, if everyone hates a certain character, why? Why do they hate them?
Why did they just decide that on day one? Like, everybody sat down and were like, alright, it's him.
Alright, you know what would be funny if we just refused to acknowledge that, that Helioptile is actually part of the group?
What if we just psychologically abuse that Pikachu over there?
Like, that is horrible.
It's fucked up.
Exactly. It's like, why? Why would... If it makes sense, then fuck it. Why not? What if they're a fucking tool? Sure. Yeah. What if the other people are just fucking douchebags? Cool. What if they, whatever reason? What if there's, let's say they're just jealous for whatever reason?
Like, if we're all gonna hate a certain character, like, maybe let there be a reason.
Yeah.
And maybe we can understand why that character is hated, but don't just have, don't have one character just undergo, like, Charlie Brown syndrome, where the world is completely against him just because he's Charlie Brown. And, like, don't have a really nice guy be hated by the entire... Like, maybe put, like, why do you hate that character? Like, are their parents racists or something? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
It really doesn't. But yeah, there isn't really much else to say other than the fact it's like, why?
Like, there aren't that many examples of this on a TPI, and honestly, it's for a pretty good reason, because it's not a good idea.
It's not. It really isn't. There has to be a reason. It has to make sense. That's about it.
Alright. So, okay, this next one we kind of talked about last time, but we're going to go a little more in depth because this technically is a plot cliche as well.
Oh boy.
But we're going to talk about fossils and, Matt, I'm sorry, eggs.
Throws my drink across the room. Fuck!
said eggs!
Jesus, Matt, you don't have to get all scrambled.
Okay.
All right.
No.
No. Just take it easy. Over easy, that is.
Ooh.
Move on.
Oh no! No! Kill me!
It just gets worse and worse.
Stop while you're ahead! Alright.
So, I guess I'll start on this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're the eggs episode.
Challenges don't make sense. Don't do them. Please.
Says the guy who did an egg challenge.
Hey, listen.
I have
pal.
one plan too, to be fair. But I'm gonna...
So, like, they don't make sense. Alright, explain to me how this makes sense. You have a cast of, let's just say, you have a cast of 20 16-year-olds. You hand them an egg, and you say, this egg is going to hatch, and it's going to join your team. They're going to start playing. How old is a Pokemon when it hatches from an egg? Oh, I don't know. Not even a day old? How is that? Which is
like a Pokemon is 5 seconds old, and it's...
And you're like, all right, yeah, no, go jump off this cliff now. They're like,
what?
I don't even know how to function yet. Why are you telling me to do
I don't
that?
even know how to talk. Or that's how it should
They
be.
shouldn't even know how to talk.
Like, seems like you know how to talk pretty well.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, how do they know how to speak? How do they speak anything? Like, I don't understand.
Why are all their first words like, hello, I am so-and-so. Why is it not, wait, who am I? Who are you people? What am I?
Now, the interesting thing with Michael's was, I think, from where I remember, Milotic was reincarnated from something. I can't remember, but like she was reincarnated, and she has the memories from her past life, and that made sense because, I mean, sure, you know, reincarnation, it's a stretch, sure, but it's at least a reason why she hatched and like was fluent, or was it a Milotic, or yeah, it was Milotic. Yeah. And 100%, she remembered everything from her past life, and that's why she could speak.
It's at least a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Not just
Like it's not just like, oh, all right, so we have 2 literal babies on the show now.
And
all right,
another
so,
question is,
you don't have to take care of them; they'll take care of themselves.
Why
They
the
know how to
fuck
feed
is it
themselves.
Like, they've been alive for 2 minutes. I think that's plenty of time. Yeah, they don't need to know who their real parents are. Like, sometimes we'll even let the contestants become parents. Yeah, you come into this game wanting to win $1 million, but you leave suddenly a husband and a father to a Pokemon that looks nothing like you?
Yeah. And then another thing that infuriates me, why is it always a Riolu? One of them.
Yeah, serious.
Why is that a thing?
Yeah, I actually am guilty of that because when I had an egg challenge in one of my TPIs, and one of the eggs was a Riolu.
Am I the only one that, like, I feel like if there's be like an egg challenge, I feel like you should actually have like a baby Pokemon be in the egg, like an Igglybuff or a Cleffa or some shit. Like, Riolu's not a baby Pokemon. That's a base form.
I mean,
like,
it can hatch from an egg.
Well, yeah. But if you're gonna be like, if it's gonna be baby themed, it might as well be an actual baby.
Just a random side note. Like, what if you just had an egg challenge and it's like, okay, one team you have an Emolga, one team you have a Pichu, that's really cute, and team 3 you have a baby Druddigan.
A fucking a Dunsparce.
Because I mean, Druddigans don't have a pre-evolution, so technically they can be hatched from eggs.
Let's see, what would be another good that? I mean, in theory, a Snorlax could hatch from an egg.
Well, not now, but back.
Not now.
Way back in my day.
Back in my day. Back in Generation 3.
Are we all just going to forget that I exist? I am standing right here. Me, Munchlax.
cares about Bellsprout?
One thing I did that I thought was kind of funny was that my boat of loser. You know how they did the Lapras of losers? I did a fucking Snorlax.
Yeah, I like
He
that.
can learn surf.
I didn't even think about it like until because the Snorlax is from my original attempt at a TPI, and then I just brought in the Snorlax as the Lapras of loser just without even thinking about it. My first boat of losers was like the Reggie Fils-Aimé train. The Reggie hype train. It was back in the day because it was like, you know, it was video game based, so I was like the Reggie hype train of losers. It was just Thomas the Tank Engine with Reggie's face.
Reggie deserves some royalties for that.
Probably. And then season 2, obviously, it was just tribal council, so it's like, you know, they just walk away. There was no, yeah, it's boring, but it's Survivor.
But eggs.
Eggs fucking suck.
I think Slowking will have a fit if he continues hearing about eggs.
Yeah, he's probably dying in the corner of
The
it.
veins are popping. His face is turning purple.
He's eyeing the window frequently. He's just like,
If you're gonna do it, do something interesting. Not to
Like
that,
kind of
but
do something on the level of what Matt did with Turtwig.
yes.
Or just have the Pokemon be babies, and then just have the host take them back to their parents, and the contestants are like, "Wait, they're not joining our team." They're like, "No, what the hell is wrong with you?"
Exactly.
they were just born, bruh.
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's the same thing with the fossils too. It's like, it's slightly different, but like,
Yeah.
Right. I mean, these were Pokemon who lived full lives. I mean, and they were complete. Like, they have to get used to a completely. It's like Steve Rogers. Okay, bad example because you guys aren't Marvel fans, but Steve Rogers waking up from that frozen state after being asleep for like, I don't know, 60, 70 years.
Yeah, but that was only 60 or 70. This is like millions of years.
and I mean,
True, but
if they're a
still,
fossil, that means they
like-
died.
Yeah, that too.
They're
I
know
mentioned
what
this last time, but if a cave Pokemon is hatched from, or not hatched, if it's revived from a fossil, have them be a cave Pokemon. Like, hey Shieldon, what's going on? Ugh. And then he just starts bashing the wall,
He just starts smashing his head somewhere.
and then they have elimination, and they have a fire in the middle, and he's just going ape shit. Like, oh my god, fire!
We've never seen it before.
Yeah, that's the thing that's like doesn't make sense to me. Like, why the fuck are they just like fluent in English or whatever the language they use is? They're fluent. They know they have actual mannerisms. They know what the hell's going on. You know, they know that it's a reality show.
Reality shows are. It's not like they had one back in like I don't know 2000 BA before Arceus, but
Yeah. It just doesn't make
I don't know,
sense. I would
it's
argue
just
that fossils make less sense.
Yeah, almost, yeah. And I mean, can we just talk about how every single egg or fossil challenge, or at least like way back in the day, was usually, and again, I've got Nikki's show in the crosshairs right now. It's like, all right, here's your fossil. Literally just hand it to each other for like 5 minutes.
Oh, and another
Just
thing.
go back.
And another.
Like-
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure like for both of those challenges, it was like who won? How do you decide who won? Like whoever just got it back quicker. Like why not just stand outside of the door and then pass it around and be like, all right, we're good. Like that doesn't make sense.
Another question I have is, why is it that the egg Pokemon always make it super far, but the fossil Pokemon only get eliminated like within 5 or 6 episodes of their introduction?
well, I think
mad
you're
about
only
that.
thinking of that because you're thinking of Nikki's, because that's what happened there.
Michael did it too.
Okay, Michael did it too, but I'm thinking of going back to Lonely Spiritomb. I mean, his season never finished, but
Yeah.
he made it pretty far. Like there was a good maybe 15 people left out of a 40-person cast. He had a big cast,
Yeah.
but he had like 3 fossil Pokemon, and I think one of them was still there. I don't think Shieldon was ever eliminated, but I know Anorith was, and Lilip was one of the last ones eliminated. I remember that.
Yeah.
And as for the egg Pokemon, I don't remember who the egg Pokemon were. I mean, some of them were still in the game, obviously, but I don't know. All I know is that some of them made it far.
And then somehow, all of the egg Pokemon, they somehow, like, their development just, like, grows exponentially in, like, a day. And then by, like, their third episode that they show, they're like, I love so-and-so. Like, what?
They're like 3 days old!
Again, like, you should be able...
Like, 15.
Like, it's another, like, again, another thing, like, I know it seems like we're repeating a big thing from last week, but it plays into this as well. But baby Pokemon should not begin relationships with fully grown adult Pokemon. That is technically pedophilia.
That's a little inappropriate, bro.
Yeah,
like
it is.
Chris Hansen from Dateline will be busted through the door. Like, why don't you have a seat right here at the table? We've got to ask you some questions.
Would you like to tell me what's going on here? Would you like to tell me what you're doing here?
Reality show? Reality show, huh?
Look, we're just talking. I mean...
Yeah. I was going to drink all this beer by myself at some 13-year-old girl's house. Absolutely.
Alright, here's what I'll say. As much as I bash Nikki's show, at the very least, his two baby Pokemon liked each other. At the very least.
Okay.
Because at least they're the same. It's still not great. But it could have been worse.
It was Riolu and Dratini?
Likes Typhlosion.
Okay, but no. If you remember,
it was one-sided.
True, but...
He says this in an episode. He literally says, he's like, Dragonair, I love you, but I also love Typhlosion. But she's dating Master. But I love you, Dragonair. He's like, what?
Yeah, but that's...
Like, you gotta pick one.
That's still him saying he loves Typhlosion.
But, like, still.
The fuck? Kind of Alabama shit's going on here?
Yeah, he's just super indecisive.
But yeah, it's like... I just hate... Like, with baby Pokemon, it makes no sense. I guess we kind of covered this before, but, like, it's a plotline too, so technicalities, let's go.
Look, relationships with fossils, I don't see being that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's fine. As long as they were...
Yeah, technically they may be thousands of years old.
Yeah, I mean, you could make a storyline where, like, they are, like, 1,000
We're from different times, but we're drawn to each other. Like, that's actually kind of romantic. That's actually kind of cool.
One character, like, teaches the fossil character, like, how to behave in, like, real...
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And it could turn into, like, a Tarzan and Jane sort of relationship.
Yeah, straight up.
Pretty much. I like that. That's a good idea. If anyone has done that, fucking let me know, and let us know. Because we're stupid if we didn't know that. But yeah, that's how... I guess that's kind of it for fossils. If anyone else has anything to say about fossils.
Yeah, I think that's good. I kind of really want to go on to this next topic because it's one I think it's another one that a lot of people are guilty of, but it's one that at the end of the day, especially in a season 1, doesn't make a lot of sense.
And this one almost kind of goes hand in hand with the next one as well.
Right. Random add-ons.
Oh no, we're all guilty of... Well, I'm guilty of it.
I'll say it right now.
I've been guilty of that.
I'll say it right now. Don't do this.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. Unless they
there are ones on this list that were like, well, you know, you can do it well. You can do it. This one, no, don't.
No, don't make the cast bigger than you are. Like, I've mentioned this before, but you know how many characters my first attempt at a TPI had? 50.
900.
It had 50. It started with 45, and then episode 9, I'm just like, I'm gonna add 3 Pokemon just for the hell of it.
Why?
Granted, that was the first episode that gave me my beta versions. Well, my beta version of Mareep and a really different Oshawott. But still, it was not a... It was the beginning of the end for that show.
Yeah. With add-ons, it's like, nah, they just fucking suck. Like, every time I've seen it done, it fucking sucks. And, like, the characters aren't good. The only one that
yeah.
I had a character that was an add-on. I still like this character. It was my Munchlax, the one that was just a complete drug addict. That character was an add-on, but
He was the one that found the meth lab, right?
Yes, the meth lab. It was fucking.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that was the only add-on character that I liked, and from my own show, and the only one you'll ever see again. I fucking love Munchlax.
Hey, I have an character.
Hmm.
I have one.
A druggie?
No, an add-on.
Oh, an add-on. Well, yeah, Turtwig.
Turtwig.
I think
Yeah,
it's pretty
but
good.
if it's one, okay, that's fine. If it's
And
one or maybe
Swan
two.
explained it.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just some random Pokemon you found off the street. Like, it was someone who applied for the show, who just didn't quite make the cut, but Slowking was like, you know what? I think we might have a place for you if you just do this one tiny thing and get encased in this egg for me, please.
It wasn't that diplomatic. It was like
Yeah, no.
burlap sack over the head. Like,
That's right, I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not how it happened. I mean, in theory, that's how it could happen, but no, that's not how it worked.
you're coming with me.
Yeah. But yeah, like, add-ons, it's like, if you're gonna do them, they better have some relevance to the plot. They have to be, if you're gonna throw them in, make it to where they kind of change up the tribe dynamics to whatever team they go to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, the biggest example is Nikki's TPA. Nikki, I gotta roast you
Again,
But,
whoa, broken record.
again. Surprise. His TPA already started with 50 plus people, and
I
then
don't think it was quite that many, but yeah, it was a lot.
45, something like that. But and then out of nowhere, it's like,
It's like episode 3. Ghastly joins the show.
hello, I'm Ghastly.
Episode 5. Pink Rhyhorn, which is another thing.
Like, what the
Why
fuck?
was he pink?
And then
I
out
don't
of nowhere,
Did they
understand.
ever address that?
No.
friggin' Ice Spirit Glaceon's like, hi, I exist. I'm in the game, and then just leaves. It's
And
like, okay, bye.
Togepi.
Yes,
I mean, but that was an egg. But still,
It
that was
still
even
fucking sucked.
talent. They just found him and they were like, oh hey, we found this baby, and she was
Let's
like,
steal
all right,
it.
he'll play then.
let's expand our family, Licky Licky. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. He ate the egg,
Yeah.
and then it hatched in his stomach, which is disgusting
So he puked up a Togepi.
because of
Lovely.
So I guess
Charm.
Licky was technically
quote-
the one who gave birth, even though it
Oh
came
my
out
God.
the other
To
end.
quote
right.
Dr. Evil, charming.
Okay, we're getting gross. We're getting off. But the point is, not returning contestants, add-ons.
That's a whole different topic.
No, just stick with the cast you got.
You had that cast for a reason.
And if
You
you're gonna
started with
add a
Pepper.
Pokemon, give us a reason as to why they're joining the show. Don't
And
just
why we should care.
Yeah.
don't just have them be a bystander for a challenge, and it's like, hey, you want to join? It's like, okay.
Straight up.
And then that leads us into our next topic, returning characters for no reason.
Well, let's hold on.
Specifically.
Contestants returning to the game for no reason.
The way I feel about it, for no reason, yeah, that's fucked up. But if there's a reason, okay, with Matt, he has his event wheel, and then at least with Jake, he had the producer kind of say, oh, we want these people back.
Which is at
I
least
kind of wish I did it a little differently, but at least I had something.
Now me, I did returner. Well, no, I didn't do returners technically. I was going to in my first season, but it just didn't happen. And then second season didn't happen. Third season won't happen. Period. No questions asked. So I don't really I'm not really guilty with this one yet, kinda. But I had the plans to do it. But the thing is, if they were either unfairly eliminated, they were eliminated too soon, there was more to do, that there was more potential with them, fine, go for it. And maybe it's like a competition where it was planned from the start. They all the characters eliminated up until that point are going to compete, and then whichever one
That's
wins.
what I wish I did.
Yeah, and that's what Matt. Yeah, he kind of did it in his first season.
Yeah, he did that in his first season, where he went
Yeah.
to the other island and was like, "Oh yeah, someone's coming back in this game." Right
At the merge,
now.
yeah.
And you gotta fight.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
And it's
fine.
like, if you're gonna bring someone back, don't bring them back and immediately just
Get
have
rid of
just
them
get
again.
lost in the shuffle again. Like
Like
when
kind of the same thing with the add-ons. Have them change the dynamics.
yeah, like when spoiler alert if anybody's not caught up on my show, when I brought back Drudagon, I think it was Telly who commented and said, yeah, I liked how not like I was a little hesitant when you brought him back, but then you immediately like made him a big deal, made him useful, and I was like, all right, yeah, that was good. So like that's what you need to do. Like don't make it so like they come back and then they just don't say anything for the rest of the episode.
Don't Bergmite the situation. Don't ruin
Berg.
amazingly fresh character, and just don't do it. Like quick interjection, but if I could go back and do it all over again, here's what I would have done differently. I would have, instead of just production saying, "Oh yeah, we're bringing these guys back," I would have done a separate challenge. Bishop would have gone to the island, given everyone a chance to return, and that would have been the opportunity for Snivy, Corfish, and Curly to come back, and just those three. No Bergmite.
Pour one out for Bergmite.
And I would have just gone on from there.
It's a conspiracy! I knew they were going to bring me back!
I knew it! I knew they were going to bring me back.
They're gonna do it again!
I'm gonna
I will be
expose
back
all of them.
for a third time. I gotta be a little quiet because my parents might be asleep.
Ah,
my God.
I got you.
No,
Oh,
you guys are fine. I'm just...
yeah. It's a
it's like-
conspiracy!
It's like, man, Nikki, I gotta roast you.
Gotta roast you.
Boy,
Gotta-
that's gonna
because-
become a saying. Like, I want
Especially
to turn it into a drinking game. Every time Matt says,
You sound
like,
like
"I
you sound
gotta
like
roast
you sound like Leafy when you
Take a
fucking do
shot.
that.
It's like, cause, like, oh yeah, if you're gonna bring someone back like one at a. Because Nikki brought back, I think, 5 people at once.
And don't
He had 7 episodes in the bank, and he brought back 4 of those contestants without any subtext or any. It's
So,
like, oh yeah, they just hijacked a Lapras and returned to the island, and Raichu's like,
Oh,
okay,
whatever.
all right, I guess you guys can stay.
So basically,
if you're
you
gonna
had
come back,
7 eliminations, and then you nullified 4 of them immediately.
yeah.
And the fact that he
So
had 2
basically-
add-ons by that point meant
Yeah,
he
true.
was only 1 short of what he started with.
So it's like,
Pretty
did I
much.
just waste my time for like those 7 episodes I just watched?
Yes.
Like,
Is your
just
answer.
Jump in on episode 8, and you're well. I guess you miss a couple plot points, but not really.
Yeah, and then
They're pretty light plot if that's
Like
what you want
maybe
to
you
call
miss
it.
a little bit with Eevee and Licky Tongue,
ooh,
God.
spicy.
but that might be good to miss.
Y'all remember last episode, right? Oh, licky tongue. He finna get some licks.
All right.
But what I was gonna say was, when it comes to okay, so limit the amount of people you bring back. If you're gonna bring back somebody, like bring back 1, 2, maybe 3. But like anything past that's like, okay, what the fuck? And don't do it like, if you're gonna do more than 1, don't do it way too early. Don't do it in like episode 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That makes
think I
no
did one a bit
sense.
too early.
Like, don't like.
Like I did it 7. That was like
That's
I
fine,
had to,
I
like,
guess.
I had to like plan that out. Like, all right.
But then again, you had the event wheel. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Like that was the whole. That's your twist.
And
You had
even
the event.
and even the host was like, "Wow, I did not expect you to land on this that quickly."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he even
Eh,
said
whatever.
like, and he even said like, I hope someone rolls this again later so it's more fun.
Exactly.
Possible foreshadowing. We don't know.
Pog. But yeah, like that. It's like it depends on how early you do it, how many people you bring back, and what you do with the characters that do come back. That's how it. That's what factors. That's the factors for me. But yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. Anything else y'all have to say on the subject?
No, I don't think so.
Nah.
and there's only one thing left on the list, and it's not something for Total Pokemon Island. I mean, it could be if that's your season 2, but basically it has to do with future season. It's mixing new contestants with the old contestants.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't. It's just either do all old contestants or all new contestants. Why mix it up?
Yep.
Because usually the older ones are the ones that get the most screen time. In like all the cases, because we only want to see the old characters. But if we want to have new characters, we're forced to get to know them, and usually they get shafted.
I think if you're gonna do this, I should definitely give it for a season 3. And if you've done like past A, season 1, and then in season 2 you had past B. Like let's say, for example, I don't know if that didn't happen, but let's say for example I had a season 3 and it was like 10 season 1 contestants versus 10 Island Strikes Back contestants. I feel like that would work in that situation. You've already kind of gotten to know all those characters. You've had an entire season with one cast, you've had an entire season with another cast.
Yeah.
Right, and I'll be honest, because I've had a lot of scrapped plans for future seasons, and I've had a lot of new plans for future seasons, and for the longest time I kept telling myself, okay, the season 1 cast for Abandoned, a lot of them are coming back for season 2 with a bunch of newbies. But then as time went on, I'm thinking to myself, there's a lot of contestants I want to utilize, and I'm not going to be able to fit a lot of them in. So what if I just... Because now I'm really thinking about an entirely new cast for season 2.
Right.
Because the more I think about it, a lot of the storylines are probably going to be wrapped up by the end of season 1. And that's mostly just on the off chance that I don't do a season 2. That way, if I finish season 1 and walk away from it, I can at least say everything ended, finished up, neat, tidy, tied up in a nice little bow.
You see, I did it where it's either all or none. Season 1, all new people. Season 2, all new. Season 3, all new. Season 3.5, which is not really official. It's not on YouTube.
3.5?
It's kind of 3.5, but kind of halfway season 4. It kind of is an ongoing thing. It's not really something. It's something that I'm doing on the side. Anyways,
okay.
Season 3.5 is all new players. Season 4, which I don't know if I'm doing yet, but I will be a mix of. I will say this: my next season is going to be all returning players, every single one of them. That's how I'm doing it. So you get hyped for All Stars, am I right?
Interesting.
Pretty much.
Like, I've got a bunch of laid out plans, like, if I'm reaching a certain point. And the farther I go, like, the farther, it's, like, really unlikely if I'll reach that point. But I have it planned for, like, Season 1, like, all just a cast. Season 2, a brand new cast. Season 3, mostly a new cast, but with 4 Season 1 contestants and 4 Season 2 contestants.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Season 4, which I doubt I'll make it that far, but Season 4 would be the All-Stars, and that's it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. That's how I think. That's good. Yeah, that's how it is with. That's how I feel about like the newbies being mixed with the vets. It can work. It just the thing is, don't do it with huge casts. Don't have like 50 new people and then 50 returning players. I think
that's kind of the crutch when it comes to doing newbies and like newbies and returning players. The casts just get bigger and bigger, and as time has shown us, a bigger cast is a lot harder to manage, and it doesn't always mean it's the smartest idea.
I think the most contestants that you should have on a show is 40. 40 is the most, like, maximum.
That's pushing it.
I mean, you started with, what, 32? And then Matt started with 36?
I started with 32.
32? Okay, you both started with 32.
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay. So then I started with 20.
I will say my planned Season 2 has 40, but I know what I'm doing, and I know how to manage it pretty quickly. I already explained it to these guys, but I'm going to keep that under wraps on the off chance it happens.
For the meantime. But yeah, smaller casts, that's just kind of like a whole different topic. The smaller your cast is, the easier it is to manage. Don't do a humongous cast unless you know you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I had 34 in my first season, plus 2 add-ons, plus it was just 2 add-ons, so 36 total. It was hard to manage, and most of the characters were in the background, and yeah. Season 2, 20 contestants. Most of them were gone before episode 8. I mean, I merged at episode 8. So from there, it was pretty easy. It's like everyone getting a good amount of screen time. I made sure at least everyone got at least 2 or 3 confessionals per episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like just a little bit of screen time, at the very minimum. And that's just an episode they weren't really relevant to the plot. Which again, every character doesn't have to be like super involved. Some characters can kind of be in the background. That's fine as long as it's just for an episode or two. You know, that they don't really have much purpose. They don't not every character needs to have a huge involvement in the plot every episode. That's one thing I want to stress.
That's been the challenge when they go home.
Exactly. See? But when it comes to newbies and vets, usually the newbies get shafted, and then the vets are usually the ones that are focused on.
Yeah, that's kind of the norm nowadays.
Yeah. So you might as well just do all vets. It doesn't really matter.
Just stick to. Just if you're, I'd say maybe go down one lane or the other. Either make a smaller cast with just the veterans, or just go all in with a brand new cast. One or the other. Maybe. I mean, if you want to mix it up, go ahead. Just don't go overboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's it. That was our last one.
Yeah, this has been another epic gamer episode of Campfire Society.
Epic game.
Very epic. And
very, very epic. The epicest, if that's even a word, which I don't think it is.
Yes, it is. But yeah, this has been another epic episode of Campfire Society podcast. I guess we will all see you guys in 2 weeks. In terms of next week, part 3 of our Nuzlocke is coming out. So be sure to check out parts 1 and 2 if you haven't already. And I guess we'll see you guys later.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
Peace.